Hello YouTube. So this is a 2017 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, and I got the check engine light for a code P0E7C, which when you Google it, came across the Pacifica Hybrid forums. It sounds like it is this coolant valve that you can't see right now, but we're going to move some things and get to and replace, hopefully. There, you can see a little bit of it right there, where that clamp is, that hose clamp. There you go. So these cars are, from what I've seen, pretty intimidating to work on. I'm like not a highly skilled mechanic. I'm a fairly amateur one, but this doesn't seem terrible. So we're going to move this coolant reservoir, this cross brace here, and hopefully be able to get down to that bypass valve. Got a road trip in a couple days going from Chicago to North Carolina and back, so hopefully get this girl on the road. Alright, I'll update you with some progress here soon. Alright, we have unbolted this coolant reservoir. I'm leaving all the hoses and everything hooked up. Just came out with these bolts right here. Those are both 10 mil. And then we are taking out this cross brace here as well. So I took out another bolt right here that's 10 mil. And then there's one right here that kind of marries up this, I don't know what the hell this is even called. Marries up this with this down into there. And then, I don't know if you can see, let me shine my light in there. You can see those two there. Those are both another nuts or bolts that hold in this cross brace. So they're all 10 mil. Everything I've used so far is 10 mil. I'm going to take this out. I have a newfound respect for all the YouTube car mechanics that are doing this while recording and moving things, which is difficult. So I'm going to stop and take it out. Alright, cross brace has been removed. Next step is going to be to remove this electrical connection. And then there's this hose and two more below it. So I'm going to go for the electrical connection first. And we'll see how that goes. From a little bit of the reading I did, it was hard to jiggle off, and there's a latch that's, it is difficult to access, especially if you have bigger hands. So we're going to give that a shot and try to be as delicate as possible. We were able to get the electrical connection off. There's a good bit of side-to-side play in the connection, but you don't want to do that. It's a straight up movement. So do not do any side-to-side in fear of breaking it. I grabbed my new one, the replacement, just to show you where that latch is. You want to get your hand up as high as possible to release that catch there. And then I didn't disconnect the hoses yet. I'm going to leave those on till last. There are two like mounting bolts or nuts that secure that piece in. So I did. They're totally out of focus, but there they are. They're both 10 mil. And they're at the base there. You are going to need a fair bit of extensions. You can see my rig here to make my way down there. So I got 3 extensions connected there, and it's a good thing it did need more because I was out. And I got some basins down underneath the fan just because I do anticipate losing some coolant when I start disconnecting those hoses. So it's a good idea to have some coolant on hand. We'll get to that a little bit later, but it is special coolant for this vehicle. Alright, I'm going to give the hoses a try. I do have this tool here for the hoses because the clamps are in such a odd location. This is like a little bit of an extender. I can get that thing on there and then just ratchet the handles up there to apply the pressure. So I got this on Amazon specifically for this job. I had the recommendation on one of the forums, and it was like, I don't know, $15. So here we go. I'm going to give it a shot. Alright, I got it out. The one on the left there is the old one. What I found was that once I disconnected those clamps, I still didn't have enough room or strength to get those hoses over those flanges. So I just took off what they were connected to, and that seemed to work a little bit better for me. We'll see if that remains to be the case when I try to reinstall it, but one thing that I moved over from the old one to the new one is this little like clip guide retainer piece. Just pulls out and sneaks in there. Not a big deal. And there is also on the back side a little hole there for a keeper for that electrical connection. So it just pulls out, and I think we can just push it right back into the new one. Yep, there it is. All right. I'm going to get back to work on this. Oh, also for the clamps, it took a series of pliers of different varieties to be able to gain access to all the clamps. So I used a small vice grip, traditional pliers, some needle nose, and then also some channel locks. So it took quite a complement. I will work on reinstall. Oh, and here is the amount of coolant that has drained out of there. Not ideal, but we'll refill as we go. All right, it's all back together. I test drove it, got it up to temperature. You definitely are going to need to add some antifreeze or some coolant. This car has special coolant. There it is right there. I think I had ordered this off Amazon a few years ago, and I used up the last of it here. It took, I'd say, about 3/4 of a gallon, and we're back up there. So, yeah, all in all, not terrible. It took me about 2.5 hours. Yeah, I'm less intimidated by it now than I was before, so they are workable. And the only reason I made this video is because there isn't a video on YouTube yet, so hopefully this is of help to you. Cleared the codes and they're gone, haven't come back. Alright, thanks YouTube.